welcome to another episode of Woodward's Watercolours. Today we're going on a magical pencil mystery tour, so I'll let you know when we arrive. We're going to make a lovely cup of coffee. I've got a pack from Packed Coffee, got a clever dripper, bought myself a little hand grinder, some beautiful beans to enjoy. So we'll do that, hopefully send the drone up if there's no rain, and then we're going to use the magic pencils when we get to where we're going on this tour. So come on, let's make a start and let's get going. Well, hello and welcome to Plein Forest. Now, I was at Summer Madness recently, which is a big Christian festival, and there's a few thousand young people here. Anyway, it is the most gorgeous forest just outside Ballymena in County Antrim in Northern Ireland called Plein. It looks like Port Glen 1, but pronounced Plein. Anyway, the light is fading because we're heading towards the end of August now, so about 8:30 it'll probably get dark. So what I want to do is I want to send the drone up, let you see what the place is like. Then we're going to head into the forest and I'm going to trial another set of magic pencils that Seawhite of Brighton very kindly sent to me. They're all by Kohinoor, and Seawhite of Brighton are the main distributors and I think importers into the UK. So they've kindly sent me a pack to give them a go. If you're interested in buying from them, head to their ARTE Saver, I think it's artsaver.co.uk, punch in the code WW10 and you'll get them 10% off. Anyway, let's send the drone up and let's have a look what this place is like. So come on, let's see. So It's quite low light in here because it is, we're heading towards the beginning of autumn, and I thought I would come out today and I wanted to play with the magic pencils that I've never used before, and I love this place. I remember coming here with the kids when they're quite young, and we just came for a wander, and it was just, look at the angles. It's all these kind of steep places to play and to walk, and you get this gorgeous kind of light at this time of the year, at this time of the day. So I found a lovely little picnic bench that is just perfect. I even brought a folding chair, but I don't need it. So I've got this lovely picnic bench to work on. It's going to be lower light, but hopefully you'll enjoy that. What I wanted to, I suppose, show this time was that you don't always need to have the traditional equipment with you, that actually having the magic pencils and a set of them should be some fun way of creating in plein air, on plein air as the French call it, outside, and just enjoying it. Anyway, I want to show you and do some more B-reel of what this actually looks like. Beautiful place. So here it is. This is my park bench, and I've got my Madlug bag. If you haven't checked out Madlug before, do check them out. And what I've got on it, if I can find the right zipper, is I've got my wooden board, got some masking tape, and here is what Seawhite sent me. This is the set of the magic pencils. So I want to trial these first. And then I've also got Seawhite of Brighton super cartridge paper, so nice and strong. So let's trial these first, and then we'll do a drawing of the scene that's just in front of us. This is the scene that we're going to draw in front of us, and it's a very familiar one to me. And I know sometimes people are like, why would you draw the same thing? But to me it's different every time. So let's draw this scene together. A piece of equipment, but it actually gives me a good opportunity to show you the setup. And actually look where the light is falling down, so we're going to be nicely illuminated as we draw together. Okay, so here we have our little setup, and we've got the paper. Let me show you the paper that we're using properly. This is the super cartridge, and it is 300 GSM, so it's really nice and thick. It's size for extra wet strength, drawing, printing techniques, all sorts of things. Great paper to use. And I just want to have it down here. I'm not actually going to tape it down. So this is the Kohinoor Hardmouth. It's the multicolored pencil set. And what I'm just going to do is we're just going to go through them slowly. Now I want to try on this side here first. So this one looks like it's the white and the grey, which you actually can't see whatsoever. Then we've got the yellow. I'm just going to give these a twirl as they go around. So these look like they're mixed with a little bit of white really on the nib. This one then is the orange and yellow. Next is more obviously, I think, the yellow and red actually. So maybe we should be taping this down. Oh, that's quite a nice one now. So these are all triangular in shape, which also means that that's something to take into account as well whenever you're using them, because it's going to be a different feeling in your hand, which is actually something, I know that can seem like it's not important. I'm just twisting these as we go. So this seems to be almost like a slight yellow and a pink. This one is probably going to give purple, I would assume. Just twisting it. No, not really, a little bit. Pink and blue. Next is more sort of cerulean kind of tones. And it looks like it's just lighter then as well. Next is the deeper blue and the lighter blue. Take these last four out. And there's one more hiding in the pack. Hard to get out that last one. Okay, so then we've got yellow and green. That's going to be interesting. Okay, And then we've got green, more sort of radiant green. Oh, mixed with more like a sap green, actually. That's interesting as well. Then the brown. Okay, and then the black and the grey. Okay, so very interesting. It's going to do a single line for each and see what happens with that. See if I can remember the order that these were actually in. Just going back through them here. Okay, interesting. They're not as overwhelming, if you like, as the other set in terms of with the 3 colours. So these seem to be only bi-coloured. I don't know whether I've got the right one here. Maybe I've got this the wrong way around. Just trying to, you see me do the 2 lines to try and figure out what on earth it is we're actually using. Okay, so there we go, they're demoed. So out of that, what I'm going to select are these 4 actually, because I need the dark one, the green, the lighter green, and the brown. Okay, so what I'm going to do next then is put the picture up in the top left corner, and we're just going to, for efficiency, just and lack of waste, just actually what I'm going to do first, you know what, I'm actually going to draw with the dark, because I'm going to see where that goes for me. And I need to tape this down actually, because in doing this you can see that it's going to keep moving on me, and I really don't want it to continually move. So what I'm actually just simply going to do this time is just tape across the top, because the light is fading here, so I really don't want to lose that kind of quality of light here. So because we're doing this outside and we don't have an awful lot of time, what we're going to do is just simply build the structure that we are seeing in front of us, using really a mixture probably of some continuous line and leaning a little heavier at different points, because we want to be able to document and get this a little bit thinner here, and some of these darker lines across here. Is that a little bit of rain coming through? Although it looks like it's a lovely bright night here in Portland, but you're going to hopefully hear those trees making a glorious sound. The leaves, yeah, I love that. I actually now have taken to falling asleep. It's because it's been that bit warmer for us, taken to falling asleep with the window open. And fairly recently there was one night where I woke up and the rain was pretty much pounding outside, and it was just such a beautiful thing. It was really enjoyable. Now you can see, look how wide this is becoming, because these are actually quite soft. Something, I can feel myself scratching already. Something's beginning to eat the top of my head here. So just trying to twirl this pencil as best as I can to be able to retain something of the thickness, or not the thickness, so the nib doesn't go completely down, or the pencil lead doesn't go completely down. Now the other thing, it's going to get to this point where actually I can just do one line because it's got so kind of flat, you know. Just trying to keep these nice organic shapes going here as we go across there. Okay, now what I want to do then is begin to pick up, so sort of to this line here, we've got getting this sort of more grassy area. This is where I really just so enjoy shading. It takes me back when I was doing my A-levels. So A-levels, if you're not familiar with the UK system, A-levels are when you're in your sort of 17, 18, and so you've chosen to go back to school. And I was just so unbelievably excited to do art, because I just always loved it so much. So this kind of takes me back. So you can just see with this, actually this one in particular, I'm able to get the different kind of quality. So we're getting almost a sort of Van Dyke kind of brown, then more of an umber, and then if I tilt that in certain ways as I go around here, I should be able to get that warmer kind of honey tone, or caramelly kind, there it is there, kind of caramelly tone that is going to actually make up some of that forest floor. Okay, so let's then move to some of these kind of So I'm doing that sort of where just move it about and then sort of just lean that little bit heavier to give this idea of some sort of undergrowth. And also in the midst of that, you're going to get some of these branches. And the strange thing happens as you look, the trees get more sort of obscured by the undergrowth. They get more kind of green as well. Could actually do with a little bit of a blue, I think, to give me that kind of sense of things. This time of night too, it's now 5 to 8, so I'd imagine we've probably got about another 20 minutes of light. And then I want to go into the van as well because I've got my packed coffee to show you as well, which I'm excited to do. And this was something, today was busy, I needed to be at home. And it was just really nice to be able to plan to do something like this, which would be my normal pattern on a Friday. And so it's lovely to come out here and make the most of this kind of fading light and also the season that we're in. I enjoy this time of year because it sort of feels like, particularly in Northern Ireland, you know, you're beginning to think about lighting the fire. We light our fire at this time of year. We have one of those wood burners that heats the water, so that's a joy to use. It also feels like you're really using the fuel well, you know. It's just trying to capture this sort of scene. I've edited out now some trees that were really in the foreground, just so that I'm able to. And then also wanting to just move again to this one. This is the lighter green. Yeah, it's lovely. Just wanting to give that idea that it is a veil of green, really, that we're peering through. Okay, so just moving this kind of frantically around. I want to twist this a little bit. Sounds like there should be rain, but I'm not sure that it's actually rain that's coming through. Now, I want to pick a little bit of this blue, and this is also going to be good to show, do these pencils layer well together? I think actually they really do. You know, you can see there that actually it is given that sort of a sense of some bit, oh, and there we go. This is the part of the magic. So I suppose with this one, with these magic pencils, what I'm actually trying to do is use them to nearly find the actual colours that we're using here. And I think because it's got so dark, I'm actually gonna stick with this for a lot of the darker kind of tones that are going on here to pick up. Leaning really heavy now to get this kind of sense of these barks and branches that are here. I'm going slightly off piece now because I'm very aware of the light fading. Just kind of trying to twirl this a bit. You can sort of feel how waxy they actually are as well. Look how thick that line is there because of leaning heavier. And then this one here, it's really far down. And it's actually got a really, really dark, and that's actually quite good. We're layering up with the green on top of that because that's exactly what you're getting with the wood. So hopefully you're beginning to see this build a little bit. Actually, the complexity of these trees and their branches and so organic, it's beautiful. If you've never been drawing in a forest, I have to tell you, it is just such a wonderful experience because there's a stillness that falls. And as a Christian, I find them a deeply spiritual place and place of connection. Okay, now this is actually building in a way that I'm really quite pleased with here. I've also just remembered that I need to go and buy my ticket for the space that I'm in, because even though it's late, they obviously require you to pay up to a late time of night. So if you're out and about yourselves, you'll know that that's always important too. So I'm going to take a little bit of this one and see. Maybe it's too much. Let's go to this one and see if it's going to give me, yeah, going to give me that kind of idea of the golden light. I know from having done this with acrylic that actually putting some of this under just brings that kind of sense of life to it. So actually, I mean, normally with the magic pencil, what I'm obviously doing is just going with it, and however and whatever comes out comes out. But this time it's been an interesting exercise to do plein air. I don't know, maybe it's true that in plein air, unless I had just one mad colour, then you were going to restrict yourself. But it was nice to go through them and think, okay, well, what actually do I want to use? What's going to be advantageous here? And just trying to fill in a little bit more information here with some of these branches and things that are coming through. And actually, over here in this section, I'll have a bit of that sunlight coming through as well. A nice big full cross. Now that's actually tolerating that quite nicely as well. So moving this around so that yellow's in that background, and then it means that the colours that are going to be in front of it are going to be very much illuminated and backlit by that tone. Now the other thing is that we've got this lovely blue. It's really emerging. Now the more that I make that present, I always find that's quite a game changer as well, because I'm going to begin to move this a little bit more, see if we can get a different kind of quality of line and lean. Oh yes, we're getting much more strength of line there, and actually covering a bit of ground more quickly. Sorry, this is where, hopefully it's just people coming out for a walk, but sometimes if there's any swearing, I must apologise. It's not me. Okay, so this is now building. I quite liking how this is a little bit barer to this side. Just moving this bit in the foreground here, and actually I wonder if oh, that's a kind of interesting move there. With that brown, is just giving me that bit more to model with. So probably for you the light's fading somewhat. Hopefully the camera is coping fair enough with the demands. I want to lean just a little bit harder here. Those girls are going to play in the forest. Okay, now let's see. Also, is there any other sort of, see, there are some sort of darker lines coming down here. But what I want to do with that is take some of that brown. That'll do well. So you can see one of the key things, particularly when you're experimenting, is that you're going to learn things, new things, as you do them. And this kind of rolling with the punches of the thing and realizing what's working and what's not working. And these girls are being rowdy here. Hopefully their language will be clean enough, should I say, rather than clear enough. Let's get some of these bows that are going across here. Okay, I think we're nearing completion of this one, folks. So let me just get this a little bit richer, just down in this part of the undergrowth here. Some areas are a little bit darker than others, and it's sometimes a wee bit about having the confidence and courage, or sometimes actually confidence and courage is simply forcing yourself to do something, to just push in that little bit more that little bit harder and heavier to try and get a little bit more depth to it, because finding the light in the dark, as I've said many times before, is so darn important. Okay, so I'm not going to fiddle anymore. That's where we're going to leave this one here. So this is using, let me get the box out again, the Kohinoor Hardmouth set of 12. I've really focused on really these ones actually together. These were the 5 that I went for to really recreate the scenes in front. So in low light, playing with an untraditional media, and hopefully you've benefited from seeing what you can do. Well now, what did you think of that? Different light? Well, I was going to say different place, but me again in the forest, which I love, but using a different kind of a media to play about with a scene. What a lovely way to experiment with something, to take it out into the natural world and just give it a go. So what we're going to do now is we're going to head back to the van. You can see it in the background. Need to go and buy my ticket, and then we'll make ourselves a beautiful cup of freshly ground coffee. So come on, let's go and do that together. Okay, so just to prove it, I went and I bought a ticket. Right thing to do. Now let's fill up the water here and get it ready, so that when it comes to us actually making a nice cup of coffee, we'll be able to enjoy it. Now I've got to put enough in here because I've got my co-pilot Isaac here with me. He's just not in the videos. So that's the water. Let's get it. There we go. Make sure I've got my ventilation open as well. Always very important, although the roof is popped as well. Okay, so here we go. Here's the packed box. Now what I got was, it was a friend who was telling me about it. Now this wasn't part of the box, I'll show you that bit later. So what we had was packed coffee, just the house coffee, and a really nice feel of a pack. It came with this clever dripper. And then also what it came with as well was, I think it was 100 actually, yes, absolutely, 100 filters, which I thought was pretty cool. So I've kept it in the car now for about a week and a bit because I wanted to use it with you guys. I've never used this clever dripper before. So just opening up the filters, even there, excellent quality. So these can, I don't know whether it'll stay in the van or not, but I certainly thought it was a great idea. So this is the clever dripper. And I think the thing that makes it clever is that we've got this coaster in here as well, and we've also got a lid, is that actually underneath it, you press it up, and as it's pressed up then it releases the coffee as it has it. So I'm just going to fold this over. Remember when I first started drinking V60 coffee, I didn't realise that you had to do that with it to get it to settle in. Okay, so that's that bit already. Now, what I also bought is this little hand grinder, which was only $8.99 off Amazon, and it has a little burr grinder in it. And I swear the coffee tastes so much better because of the burr. So what I'm going to do is judge this by hand, because I've been doing this a few times for the past few weeks. So I'm just going to drop the beans in the top here. Oh. And then we're going to find random beans throughout the van over the many years. Oh, find these last 2 beans here. Don't want to miss them. So what we do is we just put the lid on. I think actually my brother maybe had this grinder, and it said to him about the possibility of what he would recommend. So then you just got the top on, and then we're just going to grind and grind and grind and grind to get this done. So I'm going to go and do that. Once it's all ground, then we'll pour it in. Hopefully the kettle will be ready, and we'll be able to make a gorgeous cup of coffee. Okay, so what we've done now is we've got it all ground in here. So just lift the top off there. I'll give it a little brush out later on. So you can see in there, all ground. Smells absolutely amazing. Tip it all in there. Now, in theory, apparently I should be able to, so this could all go horribly wrong, so let me just tip you down ever so slightly. So in theory, I should be able to, now it's sitting on the coaster, so I should be able to pour this in, and absolutely nothing should come out. So we need to give this a go. So it's bubbling away here, and then I'm going to set it on top, and then it starts to drip. Oh my goodness, how cool this is. Right, we're going to enjoy this coffee. I'm going to make Isaac a cup of tea, and then I'm going to see you in the next video at some point. I really hope you enjoyed today, and why not go out and take something different out into the plein air context and have a go with it and just see what you come up with. Thanks for watching these videos. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Hit the little bell icon and you'll be notified of when new videos are dropping. If you want more information about me, head to woodwardswatercolours.co.uk, and I also have the membership, which is a primary means of supporting me in doing these videos. If you'd like to do that, then do please become a member, become a Woodwards Wonders. That would be great. As always, thanks for watching, and I will see you sometime soon. Bye from Plein. Bye.